Welcome back. In this video, I'm very happy to finally introduce to you guys the final released version of our JS Products bump box. What is a bump box and how does it help you? Well, I'll get to that in a second. First, let me just introduce you to the device. This is it. It's very small, very tiny. This is actually a hammered gunmetal type paint finish on it. I can order them and get them done in just about any color we'd want, but this is the standard color if you don't specify. If you do want a custom color, well, I shouldn't say custom because I can't mix up and have it done in like exact candy apple to match your car, but if you do want a different color, say, you know, black, white, stuff like that, there is going to be a small fee onto the final price to have that done. But I just wanted to introduce you to the model here, and I'm going to go ahead and install it now in my car and then pick up the video actually telling you what it is and how it's going to help you and why you need one. Sitting here in the car then, I got it mounted. I chose a spot underneath right there just using double-sided Velcro. As you see, the display is digital. It has a non-erasable memory, so whether you take your battery out or kill your kill switch or turn your key off, it automatically returns back to the last known setting you had on there. So before I get ahead of myself too much, let me tell you exactly what a bump box is and why you need one if you don't know. So I'm going to talk to both the turbo guys and the all motor guys who either race at the drag strip on a pro tree or even a normal tree for that matter, but mostly a pro tree because of how quickly you have to be ready, but a normal tree too. You know how when you pull in, you either have a turbo car that you need to get onto the boost, you need to get onto the stall converter, the chip, you need that boost to get up to where you want it. And if the other guy gets in a hurry and he forces you, you end up having to leave, or you're not ready to cut a light yet because you weren't quite ready and you weren't quite in your zone. Or the all-motor guy still has the same issue. Maybe you have a converter that's a little tight and it takes a little bit to get up on the chip, you know, for the trans brake. Because this is obviously just for trans brake guys. Foot brake guys don't have this issue. In fact, foot brake guys are what we're trying to copy. With a foot brake guy, you're able to pull in using your foot brake, get that top bulb on, get onto your chip where you want to be, and then pump your foot pedal and bump into that second bulb. Well, that's what this does, but for the trans brake. So what this allows you to do is get that top bulb set, get up on your boost, get up on your chip, whatever, be focused on that tree, be ready to go, and then by pushing a button, a second button, not your normal trans brake button. I have two of them here. I got the trans brake in the front, and I got a bump button here. You can put a button on your steering wheel, you can put a button anywhere you can easily reach. Alright? But by hitting that bump button, it allows you to bump the car forward a predetermined amount accurately and repeatedly, consistently. Let me show you what I mean by that. Down here on the bump box, I'm going to introduce you how it works. You have some buttons on the panel here. The bottom row is the amount of bump forward I'm calling for. The top row is that bump happening. It's too quick for the human eye to see right now, so I'm going to add another number over here just so you can see. Okay? Now you see how it says 1.06, and when I hit it, it counts down? Okay. So that's how the bump box works. By setting the time delay in here, you are setting how. You notice how I changed that and it took one more bump on my switch up here for that to actually reset to the new setting? That's easily overcame by simply hitting this top yellow button. It's a reset button. You see it made a match, so I don't have to hit the bump button. The second yellow button is a lock button that simply locks the time so it can't be changed anymore by these buttons. It locks it fast once you have your perfect time. But that's how this works. Each one of these buttons is for the row right above it in numbers. You see how it's changing? So that would be no time at all. Nothing would happen right there. Alright? So basically, by setting these numbers up in higher and higher increments, you're getting more and more bump. You know, so this obviously is handy because you can set an exact amount of bump forward you want every time you push the button. Now here's the other cool thing that takes the human factor out of it. You see how I have it set right now to 1.22? Now watch my finger here. I hit that and I'm holding down. It still only want 1.22, you see? I'm actually having to leave off the button to get a second burst. That's very handy. That takes the human error out of the situation. Your finger can do whatever it wants on the button, but you're only going to get that same amount of bump forward each time. Very precise, very accurate, very repeatable, and very handy. Everybody who has a turbo trans brake car or a all motor car with a trans brake definitely should use one of these things for very consistent, keeps you in the zone, works extremely well. I can get these for you, like I said, in different colors. This hammered gunmetal gray is the default color. It's going to be a few bucks more to get the other ones. There's currently only 2 other companies that make these devices. Neither one is as neat or as function easy to use and as function rich as this one is. When I say function rich, I don't mean it can do anything else but be a bump box. I just mean how easy it is to set that. You see an LCD. I'm the only one with an LCD screen. I can be adjustable so fast the trans brake can't even respond. And that's pretty neat, because that means I can set this to the smallest increment the trans brake can possibly do. See, watch this. I'm gonna set this down to 0.12. You see that? You can't even see it move. It's gone so quick. The camera's not picking up. My eyes seeing it flicker, but the camera's not. And the transmission solenoid is not even moving. It's like not even barely clicking. I have to put this up to more like a 0.16. And now I'm just starting to hear the transmission solenoid flicker. It's that quick. That means that precise, that small of an increment will be able to set this up. I like to set mine up to where it takes about 2 bumps to move me 6 inches, because it's about a 6-inch difference between the top bulb and second bulb at the track, and I don't like moving the car forward a whole 6 inches in one big lurch. I like 2 or 3 bumps to get me there. So 2 to 3 inches per bump is about perfect for me, and then I can just basically get that top bulb tickled, bump, 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 right where I want to be in the second one. Or even if you're having trouble with red lighting on the Pro Tree, you can have it to where, it's bump, bump, and that's just barely in the second yellow bulb. And so, oh crap, I'm not cutting good enough lights there. You can make it bump, bump, bump. Now you're a little deeper, not quite deep stage though, and now you have better lights. So you can even adjust your lights a little bit with it. It's a very, very handy device. Like I said, it doesn't reset with the battery being removed or the kill switch. It has a memory in it, so you turn the key off, turn it back on, it picks right up where it left off. You can take the battery out of the car or kill your kill switch and it'll pick right up where you left off. The instructions are super simple. If you can hook up a tack or a shift light, you can hook this up. It's basically a positive and a negative, 12 volts and a ground. 2 wires to a switch, because all switches have 2 wires. You just hook the switch up to those 2 wires. And then it has a signal in. Doesn't matter if it's positive or negative. However you have your trans brake done, you just basically take the wire that runs to your trans brake to activate it off your trans brake switch, cut it, and in from the switch goes into one terminal on the device, and out from the device to where to the trans brake, where the wire would have normally run before you cut it. And then it does it all for you. So like I said, email me, lavoy1@gmail.com. We'll discuss pricing. I will beat the other competitor with the 3 versions of a bump box by about $100. I'll tell you that right off the bat. The other guy with the other company with the crappy one, I'm not going to beat their price, but I'm real close to it, and you get a much better product. Lastly, I want to mention that this has no Chinese parts in it. Okay, the only overseas parts in this device are from Japan. And Japan makes amazing electronics. We all know this. They make good products. So that's it, guys. Don't want to tie you up forever or anything, so email me, lavoy1@gmail.com, to place your order. I take PayPal and credit card both, or if you have any questions.